Students across the country are walking out of class as part of a national movement protesting immigration enforcement after two fatal shootings in Minneapolis last month by federal agents. You're looking at video from a recent walkout at University High School in Waco with dozens of students holding signs and flyers.
The Texas Education Agency is now responding to walkouts. It recently released guidelines for schools on how to handle potential protests.
News 10's Nate Smith joins us live in studio with a look at those guidelines and how local school districts are responding. Nate?
The TEA says the new guidelines come after Governor Greg Abbott directed the agency to investigate, quote, instances of inappropriate political activism. It says students who choose to walk out must be marked absent, and schools can risk losing daily attendance funding if they allow or encourage students to walk out. The TEA added that teachers who facilitate walkouts will be subject to investigation and possible sanctions. Similar consequences apply on a district level, where school systems could also be appointed a monitor as a result. Clean ISD had the following to say about the situation. Quote, Clean ISD is aware of online posts encouraging student walkouts. School will operate as usual in Clean ISD. The district will follow TEA guidance and state law, adding their expectation is that students remain on campus and in class during the school day. And Midway ISD shared in a letter to Midway High School parents today that students had previously discussed a walkout as a way to express dissatisfaction with current events. They said, quote, we can share that the students involved have since decided to pursue a more effective and appropriate way to express their concerns, and the walkout has been canceled. We appreciate the maturity and good judgment shown in making that decision and choosing a better path forward for everyone involved, end quote. Now, Governor Abbott also weighed in on the situation with a post on X in reference to a pair of students in Kyle who were arrested during a demonstration earlier this week. The governor said in part, it's about time students like this were arrested. Harming someone is a crime, even for students. Disruptive walkouts allowed by schools lead to just this kind of chaos. Reporting in studio, Nate Smith, KWTX News 10.